When it comes to Amazon, they really love unique content. If you're going to be doing a coloring book or some kind of low content book, then I've got a suggestion. Why not use AI to help you out? And today we're going to be looking at using AI to create your coloring pages. So I'm going to be giving you the prompts, and you can copy those prompts word for word if you want to, and also change it up a little bit if you wish to as well. And these prompts will create a coloring book that's right for your audience. We're going to come at this from a couple of different angles. One, we're going to be showing you how to do it with a kid's illustration, as well as doing it for an adult one, like the mandalas coloring books. Now, if you haven't seen a mandalas book, it's kind of like this. Now, you see that they've got more intricate details, and you'll be able to find that this creates it beautifully. Okay, so let's get into it. Well, to start off with, we're going to be starting here at Midjourney. And the first thing you need to do when you're at Midjourney is to actually type in the term imagine, but it's going to be /imagine, and then you hit the space bar to be able to create the prompt. Now, all we need to do is I'm going to put in a little prompt. Now, the prompts are designed to be able to help you be able to create the image because it's literally text to image. So the first part we're going to be putting in is going to actually be called coloring page for kids. And I thought in this particular case, we might want to create this as a coloring book for kids and using the theme of dragons in a forest. And we're going to be having this as a cartoon style. It's going to be thick lines, low detail, and no shading. Now this part's really important, so I'm just going to go space. Then what we're going to do is go two minus signs. We're going to go, not making a space at this particular point, we're going to go AR. Then we place a space, then we go 9:11. That's the aspect ratio. AR stands for aspect ratio. And then what we're going to do is we're now going to hit enter, and we're going to see what it comes up with. So it does say coloring page for kids, dragon in a forest, cartoon style, thick lines, low details, no shading. And we're going to hit enter, and we'll see what it comes up with. Okay, so this is the image in which it gave us. Now it gives us 4 little images, and the thing is, the best part about that is you can use every one of these images. Let's have a quick look at what they look like. Every single one of these images could easily be used. Now, this one looks like it would probably be good for a slightly older child. Now, it does give you shading, unfortunately. Even though you say no shading, it still gives you shading. But that's okay, you can get around that. So what you can do is you can actually put each one of these images into it. Now, what we do in this particular case is, you see here you got U1, U2, U3, and U4. Well, we can now click on U1 if you wish to, and what that's going to do is it's going to create the image directly underneath here. Once that's done, I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so right here, you just click on the actual image itself, and that expands it to here. Now, underneath the picture, you'll see it says Open in Browser. You click on that, and that's going to now open that up in a different browser. And what you need to do here is just right-click, scroll to where it says Save Image As. And I'm just going to save it in a particular folder. Okay, so what I'm going to do right here, now that I'm in the folders, I'm just going to go click on this, and I'm just going to call this 1, as in image 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to close this one off, and then head over to Discord. And what I'm going to do is just click off the actual image itself, and we can now do the same thing for all of these images. And this way it's going to put it directly underneath, and you can then add that to the folder. Now let's say, for example, you want to be able to have a colored image that you want to put on the cover of your book. Now, how do we do that? Well, that's very easy. I will give you a very quick introduction to what you do here. Okay, so what we first of all have to do is go imagine /imagine, and we just click on that prompt just there. Then all we have to do is go kids illustration. In this particular case, we just go dragon in a forest, then cartoon style, thick lines, low detail, then we go vivid color and aspect ratio. So all we need to do now is just hit enter, and we'll see what it comes up with. So there we have it. I'm just going to now click on the actual image itself so we can expand it up and have a better look at it. These are beautiful images, and they are nice and bright, and that will work perfectly for a cover for your KDP book. So as you can see, the vivid colors, they're bright and they're sharp, and they just really stand out. It really does just depend on the style you want. Now you want to, personally, I think kids books would probably want to have the friendliest looking dragon there is. So you got maybe this one here or this one here. I'm just going to go U1 and U4 to create those as options for the images. So these are the two images that you can use. Now let's say, for example, you want to be able to do the mandalas coloring books. Now that's a really easy one to do as well. I'm just going to give you the exact prompt. I'm just going to put that straight into here. So remember, it's /imagine space, and then all we need to do is put our prompt there. In this particular case, mandalas coloring page, outline of an animal, cartoon style, thick lines, no color, no shading, low detail, aspect ratio 9:11. And then we're just going to go hit enter, and we'll see what it comes up with. As you see, it looks like it's starting to shade it, but we'll have a quick look and see what it does. Hopefully it turns it into a mandalas and makes it a bit nicer by the end. And there we have it. Now let's click on the actual image itself. As you can see, it is black and white. And it just looks grey due to the fact that it's got so much detail there. Even though we say low detail, it still gives you decent detail because mandalas coloring pages are highly detailed. But you don't want to make it so detailed that it basically shades it. And same deal with the mandalas one if you wish to be able to create the cover page as well. And that is, of course, you now put your / there. You can click on this section just here if you wish to. Speed the process up. Control V in my case. So it's mandalas illustration. Outline of an animal. Cartoon style. Thick lines. Vivid color. White background. Low details. Now I want to have a light background because when I've done previous ones in the past, it comes up with a black background. So I put the white background there just to make sure it understands do not put a black background behind it. So all we have to do is hit enter and see what it comes up with. So let's have a quick look at these images just here. So as you can see, they are bright and colorful. They really stand out, and you can use any one of these images to go into the background. Now, depending on where you want to create your book, we can do it through go through Canva, or you can do it through your PowerPoint presentation, however you want to do it. But if you're going to be doing it through Canva, you want to be able to do your page sizes. Now your page sizes are here on the front page. You go to customize size, you click on that, and you can now go make sure it's in inches, click on that. And because you're doing 8.5 by 11, because it's a big enough page for kids to be able to color in on. And what you do is, in this particular case, the width will be 8.625. So it's 8.625. How do I know that? Just from experience. And the height will be 11.25. And then we now go create. Now what I usually like to do in this particular case, I usually leave this area here to be this book belongs to, and then we go add new page, and this will be the blank page that goes behind that, and then we actually start with page 3. The reason I do that is so as you can actually end up with a nice coloring book. Now you also want to have a blank page behind every page, because quite often, depending on the type of pens kids are using, if it's a pencil it won't bleed through, but if it's a felt pen, it'll probably bleed through. So for every odd page is where I now place the image. Now all we have to do obviously is go here to upload, go here to upload file. I'm going to show you a quick little trick. Okay, when you first see the image come up, is grab hold of the image, drag it over, and if you move it around, there we go, it'll actually open it up to the entire page. You now have that covering every bit of that page. And you can now do that to every odd page you have. Now, in this particular case, because you want to have a bleed, in case the color comes through the page, you want to have this page blank, and this will be the page you put it on. Now you can also create up to 80 books, 80 pages or 40 pages. I'm actually going to create one that's 50 pages long. So to do that, we need to be able to create a cover. Now let's go over here to Amazon KDP, and I'm signed into my account. So all we need to do is go over here to where it says help, click on that. Then what we need to do is scroll down just a little bit till we see it say format your book. We're going to be having that as paperback. Then we're going to scroll down just a little bit where it says download a cover template. We're going to click on that. Now over here it says binding type. Click on that and it's going to say paperback. Interior type, we're going to have black and white. Select paper type, we're going to do white paper. Down here, we even might do color paper if we want to, but no, white paper is fine. Then what we need to do is go over here, left to right. Then we're going to have measurement details in inches, and on this particular case, we're going to be doing 8.5 by 11. And how many pages do we have? Well, quite easily, we're going to be going up to 50 pages in this particular case, which will require about 24, 25 images. Now you can make it 51, 52 pages if you wish to be able to fit 50 images in. And then all we have to do is hit calculate, and And what it's going to do is it's going to come up with the dimensions. Now you can now download this template, which will then give us the dimensions we need to be able to do this. So I'm just going to click on that. It's going to download that into my download folder. And in just a moment, I'll open it up and I'll show you what the dimensions are. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right click here and hit extract all. And once it's extracted, we can then go and have a quick look at what's actually in there. So here, extract, and that's going to now open up a brand new folder here. And we can now have a look at what's actually inside of it. Well, the one we're going to be looking at here is the PNG file. So we just double click on that. We'll have a quick look at what it looks like. All right, so the information you're really looking for here is 17.363 by 11.25. So that's what we need to look for when we start creating a cover image in Canva. So it's 17, I'm going to type this down so I don't forget. So let's go head over to Canva and we will create a cover image. So let's go back over to the home of Canva. And in this particular case, let's now go back over here to customize size. We're going to now get rid of that. And we're going to be calling this one 17.363. And we may as well just leave that one as is, 11.25. You can put a 0 at the end, but it doesn't really matter. And it will be in inches as well. And then you now create new. And what it's going to do is it's going to open this up. And then we can download that actual template. We want to be able to download the template because we want to be able to keep an eye on the various, where the bleeds are and things like that. Let's go over here to uploads. We're just going to quickly upload that file. And this is the one we want. I'm just going to upload that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this over here. And then I'm going to take this up into the top left-hand corner. And then we're going to drag that down to the bottom right-hand corner. As you can see, that's what we now have. So let's now grab if we go over here to elements, click on that, and we're going to grab a square. I'm going to grab this square right here. I'm going to add that right into this section just here. Of course, you can change the color to whatever you want. I'm going to be keeping this as orange in this particular case. So I'm going to grab this corner, drag that up to the top corner. And we're going to drag that down to here. Now, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to scroll in just a second to show you where we're going to be taking this. So if I just go up a little bit, you can see where that dotted line is. That's where we take it to. We don't want to go much past that. So we go into where the dotted line is, and that's where we want to probably stop. We don't probably want to go any further than that. But I personally prefer to keep a little spine there, and I can always add a bit of another color just here. So let's do that. Let's add another one just here. In this particular case, we shrink that down till it fits inside that spine. Now, between the two dotted lines is where I'm going to be taking this. There we are. Oops, daisy. It's about there. Now, you put no point in having it the same color, so I'm now going to change the color. But before I do that, I'm going to drag that up just a little bit, make it a bit wider. Let's drag that out so I can see what I'm doing. How I'm dragging it out is I'm holding down the control key, then all I'm doing is just using my wheel and drag that down. Now I'm going to scroll back in again so we can see what we're doing. Drag that in here. Now what I like to do as well, click on this, go clicking over to the colors. Now down the bottom here, you'll see it's got the various gradients, so I'm going to choose this gradient right here. There we are. And that just changes it up a little bit and makes the image a little bit different. So let's scroll back. Now what we need to do is go back over here to uploads and let's grab an image of the dragon. To do that, we're going to go over here to Discord, and I like this one best, right? So we're going to double click. I'm just going to click on that so it opens up. Then we're going to open this up in a browser. And then I'm going to right click and save image as. I'm going to be putting that into my dragon folder. I'm going to call this one cover 1. And now I'm just going to go back over to Canva and we're going to now upload that image to put into here. Okay, so now we're back. Let's go over here to upload and we'll grab that file. And we'll grab that image and put it straight in here. Okay, so as you can see, you've got cover 1. So we'll just double click on that. And that's going to drag that over here. And once it comes in, we can then drag that across to here. Okay, so I'm just going to left click, drag that over here, and we're going to take that up to the, oops, too much. Let go for 1 second. Drag that up to the top corner, and then we'll drag that down to the bottom corner. May need to go a little bit beyond it a little bit if you need to, and you can drag it across here. Now, one of the things you can do, you can actually send this backwards a little bit. So by going over here, you go here to position, and then go send backwards. Do not send to back. So just send backwards, and then we can send backwards again, and there we have it. Now, if we want to have the spine come forward a bit more, we can do that as well. But I think we'll just leave that as is. Now, what we need to do is add some text. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to add a heading just here. This one's going to be very imaginative. We're going to just call this one Dragon Coloring Book. So now to make the words and the lettering stand out, let's change it up a bit. I'm going to go over the top of that. Let's now choose a different font. We go here, and we're just going to scroll through till we find a font that we like. I think I like 𝗖𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗯 Diary Girl. Let's click on that. And as you can see, it looks pretty nice. Now, another thing you can do is create effects for the actual, I'm going to bolden it up, make it a bit bolder. And we're going to go to effects. And I like putting in an outline. I'm going to click on that. Now that has given me a gray outline. I don't really want a gray outline. But before I do that, let's change the color of the font. The font color needs to be white. So I'm going to make that a white font. And then the effects, we're going to go back to the effects again. And we're going to be making that one black. Now, of course, you can always change the thickness of the lines if the lines don't seem thick enough. So if you really want it to stand out, you can increase the thickness of the lines. And that will help it to really stand out. Dragon coloring book. Now, another thing you can do is put the ages for the coloring book if you wish to. Now to do that, I'm just going to go over here to elements and I'm going to grab a cloud. I'm going to place that over here, down the bottom corner here. And I might even keep the color similar to this one here. So what shading is that one? I'll just click on that and see if I can find the shading by clicking on that. Taking it across the orange, that's fine. Then all we need to do is add some text. Very similar, but in this particular case, I don't want it to be quite so big. Go over here to the subheadings and grab the subheading and go over here, grab the one we want. 𝗖𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂 Diary Girl, we're going to bolden that up. And of course, we're now going to use effect. We're going to be putting an outline here and we're going to be making the outline black, but we're going to be making the actual text white. And we can now thicken the effect if we wish to by taking that up and making it thicker so as it stands out. We can also make that bigger if we wish to. We're going to be calling this one Kids. Now, another thing you can do is hit the Alt key, drag that down, and it now duplicates that image. Now I might make that bigger because it's a bit small. There we go, that's better. Move that over here. We're going to be making this one maybe a bit bigger as well. Might make this one Kids 8 to 12. And there we have it. So it's a kids coloring book for 8 to 12-year-olds. We can shrink that down just a little tiny bit if we wish to. It doesn't look too obnoxious. And we can also fix this up a little bit as well. Going like that. And that's all we need to do. That is the cover of your book made. Now you can also add some text on the back here if you wish to, or you can just leave it blank. It is completely up to you. But as you can see, that is a beautiful image. And if we go back over here, you can see that the coloring book is about dragons, and you can add all these different dragons here as you go. Alright guys, if you got some value out of this video, how about you smash the like button as well as subscribe, and also hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we upload more videos. Hey, while you're at it, why not consider sharing, and also leave a comment down below and let me know of this technique in creating your own coloring pages. Now, just to let you know too, right here is a video I believe you might like. Down here is a video YouTube thinks you might like. And right here is an image of my head. Now, if you click on that or poke me in the forehead with your finger, you'll be able to subscribe. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.